Hello everybody and welcome to my review of episode 2 of the Nanatsu no Taizai season 3 or The Wrath of the Gods 7 Deadly Sins. And boy, it feels good to say that. I think last year the 7 Deadly Sins season 2, despite some of the last few episodes, it definitely was one of the best animes of the year. Very underrated in my opinion. Certain things that we got, like Escanor appearing for the first time, or the development we got for Bon, that was pretty cool. So, and obviously the battle against the Commandments is lit, so I don't expect this to be any different. I was kind of worried the direction at the start of this episode with King and Diane that it was going to be a laid-back, chilled episode, but boy, I was pleasantly surprised and wrong by the end of this. Last episode was a reintroductory episode, even though I got a little bit of action with 5 of the 7 sins, getting to see them shine. Here, it was like more or less having the spotlight on King and Diane, but at the end of this episode, I was like, we got a flashback now, so sign me up. I never thought I would say this, but I'm sold on the flashback because I was crowing about how we needed to get some type of flashback. I thought it was going to be maybe related to Merlin, but this is just as good when it comes to like Meliodas. So I did not expect that, so great, I'm sold. Start off with the Fairy King Forest, and Matarona and some of the giant residents are living with the fairies of the forest. That's pretty cool. And they're part of Harley Quinn, aka King, for letting them chill out together. So we come to find out that what happened with the Ten Commandments and Meliodas, the aftermath, they didn't get word that they're not aware that Meliodas came back to life. They're under the assumption that Meliodas died after we've seen what happened at the hands of Estarossa. So that makes it interesting, makes things interesting, especially when King was like, "Oh, I didn't know Meliodas till the end." So before things can pick up any further, obviously we got the fan service scene with Diane and King at the beginning. Then things escalate quickly because we have Gerade, who senses something's up in the Fairy King Forest, and then out of nowhere, Diane and King get snatched up into an underground cave or whatnot. Anyway, the hideouts of Gloxinia and Durol, 2 of the 10 Commandments. So we haven't seen them since the whole battle royal against Meliodas. They got schooled, so it was cool to see them here. You'd think this was going to be a bad situation for King and Diane. It started off with the action, and didn't take long. King uses his chastity pole spear. Diane tries to smash Durol, but it doesn't have any effect. In fact, she actually smashes him across the forehead, no effect. So I'm pretty sure he did the hardening. You couldn't really tell. It's like no effect. So wow, the power gap is massive. And even Gloxinia and Durol says, "You're too weak. You need to become stronger if you want to stand against it." When Durol said that, when they said that, I was like, "Wait, what's going on here? Aren't they meant to kill them?" What they're doing, and it gets revealed, they're like trying to train them. I thought Diane using heavy metal twice, and she even acknowledged if she didn't use it, she'd be killed by Durol's attacks. And the way he was avoiding Diane's earthbound attacks, it made it seem like he's actually dodging, but what he was doing is actually dancing, which is exactly what Diane needs to be taught how to do. She can't do it yet, so Durol's making it look like easy. He's pulling some type of Ultra Instinct type of deal. So he's dodging them, and at the same time, obviously, Gloxinia has his wings, and that's the thing that obviously King has yet to grow. Harley Quinn has yet to grow these wings. Until he does, he can't really become the true Fairy King. I mean, yeah, Diane does use hardening, and there's one point where Durol is actually acknowledging Diane's like, the power doesn't. He pretty much says the power doesn't come from the muscles. The power comes from the earth, and it depends on how much you use in order to decide how strong we are. So they're using the earth pretty much to make themselves stronger. Risey said that it's obvious something was up. After that, she uses heavy metal to like block the second attack, but she gets crashing into the rocks, I guess, and she got KO'd pretty much. And King gets slashed in the back. He tried to use his chastity form 5 increase the spears, but he can't even touch him, and he gets slashed in the back. And it looks like they're pretty much done, but because Gloxinia uses the droplet of life to revive them, and right away the signs are up, like they're not as bad as or evil as we previously made them out to be. Like especially with what we've been seen in season 2, nowhere near, because they would not have revived their enemy. So it's like, what's up? Then we kind of get the reveal, like, oh, there's still Dural's still the king of the giants, and Gloxinia is the first fairy king of the fairy forest. But and then they get offered being king in Dian, like a chance to get stronger. So they both accept quickly, but then says you could die if you're not ready for this. So they get sent 3,000 years. Gloxinia sends in 3,000 years into the past, and this is where, okay, you got my attention now, because I wanted to see a flashback. Boy, we got better than that, because now it's going to explain a lot of things about Meliodas that we did not know, especially when it comes to like the Ten Commandments of what's gone on. Why is there such a beef? Why such a grudge between them? So this is kind of cool. So what happens though is King of Dian, King gets sent into the, I guess his soul gets sent into Gloxinia in the past, and Dian gets sent into Dural, which is kind of funny. Inside of Dural serves a purpose, because now it's like the very thing that King and Dian need to do is like get an upgrade, big time. So Dian needs to know how to dance, to maneuver around like that, like Dural was doing, and maybe by being inside Dural's body, maybe she'll find that out. But obviously, it's not going to be easy. If they foreshadow, they could die if they're not up to this. And obviously, King may learn how to grow wings after this, so that's kind of cool. Then we get a bunch of great demons. I guess demons around. What it turns into Attack on Titan, because half the humans are getting munched on, so it's becoming a bad situation. And then out of nowhere pops down Meliodas from the heavens. Meliodas is aware who King and Dian are. Obviously, he hasn't met them yet, so it makes sense. So, and then King connects the dots and said, "Oh, we're 3,000 years in the past now." So, Gloxinia and Dural's body. So that's kind of interesting to me. Where this was like kind of the other shocker, we see Elizabeth in part of the goddess race or the goddess clan. So a lookalike of Elizabeth, and wasn't. So what's going on here? It's like Elizabeth now in adult form, but with Meliodas in the 3,000 years that passed. So is like the current Elizabeth, like, is she like the reincarnation of this version? And is that the reason why she has so many? Is that reason why she has healing abilities? That may explain a few things. Like I said, a lot of things may get explained. Most importantly, against all that, the Ten Commandments grudge. Speaking of Ten Commandments, the episode ends with Calamadios, a member of the Ten Commandments, although we haven't seen him yet, so I'm assuming he got killed 3,000 years in the past. It's in Britannia. So there's a lot of things left unsolved, but it's great that we're getting some type of flashback here. It's kind of like the point of the story where we need it, especially with anime onlys like I am. So according to King, like, this Calamadios is more powerful than the fodder demons that they were trying to Meliodas was taken care of. So this becomes a problem for King and Dian if they can't get Gloxinia and Dural's bodies respectively in check. Before they got sent into the past, Gloxinia says, "This is something a friend once taught me, so I'm curious who this friend is." Also, the mention when Dural was actually teaching Dian about how to move and how to use your abilities, like, she addressed her as a daughter, so either that was like daughter as in the part of the same clan, or did he mean that literally? He kind of went over Dian's head a little bit, so I noticed that and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Because I'm a stickler for detail, so that sticks out like a sore thumb. The other thing is this friend that taught them how to travel in the past. So the only thing, I don't think it's Elizabeth, because they haven't met her yet. Well, if they haven't learned her abilities. The only thing that kind of makes sense is Merlin. She's the only one that could probably do that, but I don't know. Introduces an interesting plot point for the remainder of season 3. I don't know how long this flashback is going to last, but we may get some crucial answers here about Meliodas. The title of the next episode is Wrath of the Gods, so it's the title of the arc. So that's pretty cool. Also, I did mention this in my last review, but I'm going to mention it now. Like, the opening, I liked it. I believe the song is like Rob the Frontier. It's by Uva So that it's pretty cool. I like it better than the second season opening. I'm not gonna lie. Although to be honest, the visuals are kind of like simple. Like you got the seven sins doing the thing, Elizabeth, and obviously the commandments are part of the opening. So I'm wondering if this whether this is going to the fact that Elizabeth, another version of Elizabeth, is a member of the Goddess clan. I'm thinking back to the Prisoners of the Sky movie, and now the lookalike that we got in that version of the movie, even though it's non-canon, maybe there was a way of trying to tell something. I may have said something to the effect in that review of maybe this is foreshadowing, and lo and behold, look what we have now. So it's funny how things work. I don't read the manga, so I have no idea what's going to happen next, but I'm damn glad that we got a flashback, and I never thought I would say that, but here in the context of this story, I think it's very much needed. So let me know what you guys think down below. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to our for more 7 Deadly Sins. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.